When you write a paper in Cite or university, you have to cite the sources you use to build your argument. This is a fundamental principle of intellectual property. Remember, not citing sources amounts to plagiarism, and plagiarism is absolutely prohibited. The skill address in this clip is related to intellectual integrity and the guidelines to follow, no matter how long the text you cite or what medium you use. It is very easy to show which passages you have quoted and to reference the authors whose ideas you have used, as you'll see in a moment. To illustrate this example, we are using Word 2010. Even though the steps may differ slightly in other programs, the principle of citation is the same. When you transcribe the words of an author, that is, when you quote, or when you simply refer to an author's words, that is, paraphrase, you must clearly indicate this to the reader. The APA system for documenting sources, which is used for most social science classes, uses in-text citations in combination with a list of references at the end of the text. If the quoted passage is less than 40 words long, this is considered to be a short quote. It is included in the main body of the text in quotation marks. Just place a quotation mark at the beginning of the quote and a quotation mark at the end. You must also provide the author's name as well as the year of publication. If the author's name appears in the signal phrase, you can put the year of publication in parentheses just after the name and the page number in parentheses at the end, after the quotation. Otherwise, you must put both the author's name and the year of publication in parentheses after the quote. If you are using a print source and the page number will be included, it should also appear in parentheses after the quote. For example, the complete reference is provided on a separate page that is included at the end of the text. The heading should be centered and the reference should contain the author's last name and initials, the year, the publication title in italics, the place of publication, and the publisher. If the quoted passage is 40 words or longer, it is considered to be a long quote. It should be formatted with an indent, in a separate paragraph, double-spaced with no quotation marks. To indent the text, make sure the ruler is displayed. You can find it in the View tab in the Show group. Click on the checkbox to display the ruler. Then select the section of text that you want to indent. Place the cursor at the beginning of the text. Left-click and drag the mouse until you have selected the entire section. Then find the left indent square, close to the horizontal ruler, just under two triangles pointing toward each other. To indent the selected text, just grab the left indent square with your pointer. Then slide it along the ruler to indent the text ½ inch. Do the same thing on the right side. Find the right indent triangle on the bottom of the ruler on the right end. Grab it and slide it along the ruler to the appropriate place. Here, too, in the signal sentence or at the end of the quote, you must provide the author's name and the date of publication, along with the page number if useful or appropriate. If the publication date is unknown, write ND for no date. When you paraphrase, that is, when you express an author's ideas in your own words, quotation marks are not used, but you still have to provide the source. As we explained previously, the full details of the work are included in the list of references at the end of your paper or presentation. Remember that the title References has to be centered. Afterwards, the list must be alphabetized by author's last name. The first line of each reference should be at the left margin, with the following lines indented ½ inch. Finally, remember to use a double spacing throughout. The last entry is an example of how to reference an online source. As with print resources, You must list as much of the following information as is available: author's name, publication date, in this case ND, because this information isn't available, title, and finally, URL. Remember to add the expression "retrieved from" before the URL. As mentioned, social science courses generally call for the APA system to be used, but check with your professor or refer to the Citations and References section of your SageEP's methodology guide for further details. You can also visit the Research and Documentation Online website and the Online Writing Lab at Purdue University. These reliable websites will provide you with complete guidelines for APA style and other styles. That's it. Now you know how to quote passages from other works and cite authors whose ideas have contributed to your work.